This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
This way or that, DMK's Vijaykanth says he won't join the DMK. PMK's Ramadas says his party will go it alone. There is something fishy about that email that has been spamming your inbox. It's not lottery. In fact, it leads to bankruptcy. Watch out for how your credit card can be cloned. For the first time on television, Ndtv-Hindu exposes the dangers of swiping your debit card. Waiko's day of reckoning as he surfaces in the public eye. The big question, did his political opportunism lead to the death of thousands of innocent Tamils? No need for manual labor to clean Chennai's beaches. The corporation introduces these machines to do the job. Good evening. The weather has been quite gloomy this Friday, but then the newsmakers of the day are as upbeat. From the DMDK's Vijaykanth to PMK's Ramadas, they all sound very brave. But something as deceptive as politics has been bothering me as much as it is for you. All of us today, irrespective of age, are hooked to emails and mobile phones. But did we know that one message or email can ruin life? Well, what's that? I, Radhika Iyer, will tell you, but first, the national headlines. Not just the BJP, even the Congress distances itself from Chidambaram's saffron terror remark. CWG to miss another deadline, this time the biggest deadline of all of them. Another controversy hits Indian hockey with chief coach Jos Brasa reportedly lashing out while the Supreme Court says forget Swabel's choose team. The man suspected to open fire irrationally is doing moonwalk. But before we go into the top stories, Ndtv-Hindu tells you the entire story in one picture. That is the political picture of the day you're seeing on your screens. Two leaders, DMDK's Vijaykanth and PMK's Ramadas. One man who says he won't go with the DMK, the other says that he will want to go it alone in the assembly polls, staring Tamil Nadu very, very soon. Two parties, two agendas, but several political interests. The DMDK's chief Vijaykanth has said joining the DMK in an alliance is out of question. At Virupuram, in a party function, the actor turned leader now ruled out any chances of allying with the ruling DMK. DMDK Supremo Vijaykanth said what he wanted to say. He said that he would go it alone in the upcoming assembly elections, but also said what his party cadre wanted to hear. Just what Jayalalitha had said in her public meeting in Trichy a few days ago, that he would go in an alliance that the people want. PMK founder President Ramadas today said that the Patali Makkal Katchi would contest 100 assembly constituencies on its own. Speaking at a political training camp for youth in Salem district, Ramadas said that if 1 year's belonging to various political parties vote for the PMK, then the party could easily win all the 100 constituencies it plans to contest in. He hit out at the DMK for the slew of freebies and said that the DMK regime should focus more on giving employment to the youth and affordable education to the poor. He also accused the ruling DMK government of claiming credit for several schemes which are apparently sponsored by the central government. Sai Manish now joins us live from the newsroom. Thanks, Manish, for joining us. On one hand, Ramadas is clearly feeling slighted, and so this decision seems more or less final. But what's the way with Vijaykanth? He seems to be doing this and that.
Well, that's surprising. In fact, today, in fact, at the rally, what Vijay said was he's neither with the DMK or the AIADMK, but he would stand with the party which is voted to power by the people. Now, exactly what is exactly Vijay thinking about by making a statement? Because if you look at the political scenario right now, it's either the DMK or the AIADMK which is likely to come in power, of course, with various permutations and combinations in the offing. And also, Vijay, let's just remind you, was given the go-ahead by the General Advisory Council of the DMDK to go ahead and forge alliances. However, for Captain himself, this would be disconnecting with the very people who he has won over by his anti-Karnanidhi and anti-AIADMK speeches all across. The ones that you saw right now where he gets massive applause for the way he attacks the Chief Minister. In fact, sometimes he's even more bitter than Jayalalitha. And of course, the surprising thing here is that after ruling out an alliance with the AIADMK just last week, he's come out to say that he won't even align with the DMK. The inherent contradiction being that, of course, if he wants to align with a party which is coming to power, he'll either have to jump in bed with the DMK or the AIADMK. So Captain's electoral strategies right now seem to be a bit confused. Radhika?
Right, Sai Manish, my colleague there, giving us a perspective on what Vijay could do and perhaps could not do. Moving on the other big man who could be changing quite an apple cart. All eyes today will be on the MDMK Supremo Vaiko as he attempts to come out clean on the allegations heaped on him by LTTE leader K. Padmanabhan that he has thwarted ceasefire plans in the war between the Tigers and the Sri Lankan army. There have been suspicions about Vaiko's sincerity in his support to the LTTE, with certain former Tiger renegades admitting that he prevented a ceasefire by giving false hopes to the Tigers, fearing that the credit for the cessation of hostilities would be cornered entirely by the DMK and the AIADMK. Vaiko, a known LTTE sympathizer, has avoided the public eye after allegations that he manipulated the Tamil Tigers for political gains and presented himself as a sympathizer to the people of Tamil Nadu. Well, we'll have to wait and watch as to what Vaiko's response will be, even as he at the moment is celebrating an iftar party here in Chennai. Moving on, a special report by Ndtv-Hindu. Do you often receive suspicious emails like I do? Something like, you have just won a lottery. That could be the subject of the email. Well, here's a report which suggests what you need to do in such cases. The police say they have registered 10 cases in just the last 1 week in connection to their latest headache called phishing.
Is your inbox familiar with these messages? Because the email would say it is authentic and certified by a foreign country's government or even a deputy prime minister. They will then be followed by requests of money for certain processing charges. Now Satya, like many others, was tempted to reply because of the many thousands of rupees promised as salary.
சர்வீஸ் சார்ஜாக 49,000 ரூபா நீங்கள் கட்ட சொன்னாங்க. அதை வந்து 28/2009 கட்டிட்டேன். அதுக்கு அடுத்து வந்து கட்டி முடித்த உடனே ஃபாரின் கரன்சி டேக்ஸ் என்று ஒன்று புதுசாக கொண்டு சொன்னாங்க. அது வந்து 1,56,000 ரூபா கட்ட சொன்னாங்க. அதையும் கட்டியாச்சு. அது கட்டி முடித்த உடனே மறுபடியும் வந்து என்ன பண்ணாங்க, 7,83,000 ரூபா இது கஸ்டம்ஸ் டேக்ஸ்னு போட்டாங்க.
Satya obediently paid all that was asked for. He was then delivered a sealed box with supposedly camouflaged dollar notes. It was then that he finally got suspicious and approached the police, who on investigations found it to be a huge scam by this Nigerian. At least 10 such cases have been reported in just the last 2 weeks.
It is located in Nigeria or South Africa or some other in Kenya or UK. So it's very difficult to our Indian police or Tamil Nadu police to trace the fellow in Nigeria or South Africa.
இப்போ வந்து எனக்கு 15 லட்சம் ரூபா கடன் இருக்குங்க. அதை நான் தொடர்ந்து வட்டி கட்டி வரேன். என்னால் பே பண்ண முடியல.
The network is vast and well organized that your hard-earned money gets transferred within seconds. The police are trying to track the many Nigerians in the city who have been living illegally. So remember, each time you receive a mail or a message such as this, you should turn a doubting Thomas. In Chennai with Pratiksha, this is Ashmit Kumar for Ndtv-Hindu.
From that to something that's even more fishy. When you swipe your debit card, you may be clueless of what can befall you. You can be conned and your card will be cloned. Ndtv-Hindu decided to expose this for the first time ever in Indian television history, how debit card cloning can assume threatening proportions. This report is being broadcast in public interest, so take a look at this with care.
Well, a debit card is something which has become a necessity these days, something which you use for buying that high-end clothing line of yours to the grocery next door. Now, with the proliferation of these cards, of course, come the added security risks associated with them. Now, today what we're going to see is how I clone this card. This is my friend's card. I'm going to clone this card on a blank card which you can ship from anywhere in the world. And to help us understand how this security threat can affect you is going to be Vinod, who of course works with InfoSec. He's an ethical hacker and one of the best known, in fact, security experts in the IT field. So Vinod, how do we go about this?
Thank you, Manish. And today I'm going to discuss about how a magnetic card like this, magnetic card, it can either be a debit card or a credit card, which has all track 1, track 2 and track 3. All I'm going to do is copy a credit or debit card to another card, which is a dummy card and has nothing more than, but it's being empty. Right? All it has is again track 1, track 2 and track 3.
And how do you go about this?
Yeah,
what do you need for this?
For doing this, all I need is a card reader writer as well as a laptop. That's
a card reader writer and a laptop is all that you need for this.
That's it. We are set.
So which means anyone exactly can do this in their home.
Exactly, which can be portable and it can even become a pocket size with time.
So are we ready?
We are doing.
Please do not try this at home.
In this report being broadcast in public interest, watch this card reading machine, which reads the magnetic tape on your debit card. The software already loaded on the computer. One swipe and the information on the magnetic tape is loaded on the computer. Once the data from the original card is loaded, the blank card is inserted. Just like you copy a CD or a DVD through a writer on your computer, the information of the original card gets copied on the blank card. All this only with this, a card reader and a laptop.
So we know that we're done. What do we have here?
Now we have an exact same copy of this card to this.
So what do you mean to say
we can typically use this card in all the places where you can typically use this card.
So can I try it out?
Yeah, please
making a payment out of that?
Yeah, please do.
Do I really need that?
You do not need this card anymore.
So I can make a payment for whatever I have with this. So let's try it out. So here we are already. This is the card that I actually copied, and let's see if this actually works.
So does this really work? Shockingly, it does. The payment is accepted. The con job is done. The clone works. India has reasons to worry. The number of debit card users in the country has shot up to an astounding 150 million. In the West, cheating this way is quite common, with even waiters at coffee houses with swiping machines on the lookout for inattentive customers. So how can you be safe?
People need to be aware on what exactly they are doing. Then they need to make sure when they give their credit card or a debit card to a vendor for swiping it, they or he must be very clear on giving the card, and the vicinity of the person who takes the card should be within his eyes, right? He should not lose the vicinity of the person who is going to swipe the card. And more importantly, you need to check your credit card or debit card statements regularly and make sure that your accounts are not debited with any money or so.
Movie theaters, pizza outlets, malls, even online shopping. One bad transaction can ruin you. Ndtv-Hindu has brought out this report in public interest so that you can be safe from elements who can take you for a ride with just one swipe. One swipe that can change your life for the worse. Sai Manish for Ndtv-Hindu.
A scary trend there indeed, but to discuss that in detail, what do we need to do? Because something, the debit card or an email or an inbox message is something that we can't do without. Joining us live in our studio, Officer S. Jayakumar, Additional Deputy Commissioner of the Central Crime Branch. Sir, thank you very much initially for joining us this evening to discuss this. Of course, we have aired this in public interest, and we don't want people to, of course, take this lightly, because this is a trend that is very common in the West. But to start off the discussion, firstly, we want to know from you, this obviously is the recent headache for your branch at the moment.
Yes.
How many cases are there at the moment pending for you?
Actually, in Chennai Suburban, we are received 12 complaints. We have registered 12 cases. Not only in Chennai Suburban.
12 cases
yes.
In how much time, sir? What's the...
It is within 6 months period.
Okay.
So actually, initially, we just now we saw Satya case from Mangad. Yes. After registered that case, we received a lot of complaints. That is 10 complaints we have received from public. So after that, we received 2 complaints. There is 12 complaints we have received in Chennai Suburban. Not only Chennai Suburban, in CBCID also they have received a lot of complaints. In Chennai City CCB also. So in throughout Tamil Nadu, we are like this. We are receiving a lot of complaints about these phishing emails.
All right, but sir, what should a person do? For instance, I receive a mail very often, in fact, and you're saying you have 12 cases in 6 months, which means at least 2 cases a month which are being reported to you. There could be several cases where people are even fearing to reach out to the police. What should I do if I get an email which says you have won a lottery, or sometimes even phone SMSs are so very deceptive? What should I do? Is it dangerous to even open those messages?
No, it is not dangerous to open the message. Whenever you receive any emails or SMS, you can open the message. Open the message and see the content, and don't respond it once because it is a phishing actually. Yes. Just they are without you are buying a lottery ticket or without investing any money.
Yes.
If they are telling you are won this much lottery, mean how we can believe it?
Yes.
So just you forget it, SMS or email. Just to open it,
you can read it perhaps, but don't press that reply button is what you're saying. All right, sir, if we may, for the benefit of our viewers, just pull up a graphics for you. What exactly does phishing mean? This is a computer term that a lot of cyber cell people call it the latest headache. This exactly means that phishing is criminally a fraudulent process of attempting to acquire sensitive information such as usernames, passwords, credit cards, etc. So there you have it on your screens. Read that carefully for you. It is a process which is attempting to get sensitive credit card details, or sometimes even your usernames and passwords, which perhaps is carried out by an email or an instant messaging, and it often directs users to enter details as a fake website who which look and feel almost identical to what is legitimate. So it's seldom that even the best of persons who actually are accessing websites very often will be able to identify which one is fake and which one is real. So you saw that that lawfully is of course illegal, but sir, this is a case which is perhaps uncommon here in India, very common in the West of course. In America, we do know of research which says that there are cases sometimes even 6 a month. How common is this threat for India and in Tamil Nadu? How serious has this become in the last few months?
No, recent times we are receiving a lot of complaint about this phishing and this debit card frauds and all. But nowadays in Tamil Nadu, there is some awareness has came among the people.
Has there been any arrest yet?
Yeah, we in Nigerian cases, we have arrested 2 Nigerians regards to this
the phishing of emails.
Phishing
so is this like a racket which perhaps a few illegal Nigerians who are living here beyond the expiry of their passport or their visa validity are carrying out? Is it like a racket?
No, they came as businessman people. They are doing some cloth business. We saw they are coming here, and sometimes they are studying in students in Indian universities. So in side by side they are doing like this business. We have to identify them.
All right. So so Mr. Jaykumar's advice to all of us today, of course, he is the additional Deputy Commissioner of the Cybercrime Cell who's been investigating these cases. The first big advice from him is that when you receive an email like this, you perhaps could read it, but do not press on that reply button. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
Don't press on the reply button is his strong advice to all of us here, and particularly the IT crowd, considering they are the ones who happen to be victims, like one case study which we just saw of Satya here in Chennai itself. And also the other advice from him as to how you need to be careful while you use that debit card just about anywhere, because Sai Manish, our colleague, just told us how dangerous it could be and how easy it is to actually clone your debit card, where you can lose your hard-earned money. We lead into a short break. Chidambaram faces flack for not just from the opposition, but also his own party men. More on that side of the break. But then also, look who is actually cleaning up that mess of yours and mine. That's after the break.